I've been hearing about Event Horizon for a long time, and I'd been hearing about how shocking it was, how frightening it was, uh, how it just blew the lid off of, you know, everything that you would previously hope not to see depicted on film. I may be exaggerating it a little. It's not like it was a cannibal Holocaust kind of thing, or a Serbian film kind of thing. But I had heard from a lot of people that the ending of Event Horizon is really gruesome and features a lot of really upsetting scenes. And but people had talked positively about this movie for a long time. To me, it came out in 1997. For some reason, I never saw it. I never was drawn to it. You'd think it was advertised as a science fiction movie about a ship in space, and that was like very much in my wheelhouse. But maybe the horror elements. I was not really as big on horror back then. That was maybe what was keeping me away, or maybe it was something else, and maybe it just I don't know, just missed me for whatever reason. I don't know, but suffice to say, I finally saw Event Horizon the day before yesterday, and what I would say about it is, as far as speaking conceptually, this is a movie that really has something interesting to say about man's overweening pride and about the sort of Tower of Babel mentality that comes out of the pride of man trying to usurp what's not naturally his, to not want to accept being a part of God's creation, but to want to become as gods themselves. That's really a part of this whole, thematically speaking, a part of this whole movie. Um, the premise is there was this ship with the spaceship with this uh, special kind of drive or engine or propulsion on it that that essentially created a black hole. I mean, one thinks a little bit of CERN, and in 1997, when this movie was released, as far as I know, there was no CERN. There were no super colliders, and there was no talk of finding the God particle. Maybe there was talk about it. I don't know, but it wasn't as far along as it is now. And I don't pretend to even understand half of what they're supposed to be doing in CERN, but it seems that there's ample evidence that the CERN stuff is, invoking satanic, or some might say Luciferian, and I know there's supposed to be a shade of difference there between those two things. Um, the Satanists are more like, we worship the Dark One, and or else they just say we're really atheists, but we just, we're against religion, and we believe in Satan just because he's uh, the opponent of authority. So they just represent it as the ultimate anti-authoritarian or anti-authority um, philosophy. Now, I don't know to what extent that's true or not, but that's what they say. Luciferians, on the other hand, say that Lucifer was, the true God. Lucifer was good. They tend to say that God, like it's sort of a neo-Gnostic thing, where God is bad. The being that we know of as God is bad. He's the demiurge, and Lucifer wanted to bring wisdom to man to help him transcend the prison that this being that calls himself God, but that's really the demiurge has created. Anyway, this is all very heady stuff, I know, but there's enough there's enough indications. The dancing statue of Kali, the 666 in various places. There's enough indications that they're definitely mucking about with satanic or Luciferian imagery or sigils or what have you. And so it seems that this ship, the Event Horizon, was created with this kind of technology, and the idea was that they would be able to fold space, which is a principle that seems like it's something that you hear talked about a lot in movies with hyperdrive. The hyperdrive is, when you're able to go fast, way faster than the speed of light, and travel from one solar system to another across the galaxy. That it's about folding space, and there's even a moment where the captain of the creator of the man who played by Sam Neill, who created the Event Horizon, demonstrates what it means that you poke. It's like you take a piece of paper between the piece of paper is two different destinations in space. You poke a hole and then you fold the paper instead of just trying to go a straight line from one hole to the other hole. And so that way you can get there faster. But it seems that actually when this dangerous semi-super collider, this little black hole thingy that they've got inside of this spaceship, when it gets charged up, instead of sending them across the galaxy to the nearest star system, which had been the intention, instead it sends them to another dimension, and that dimension is hell. It's a dimension of pure evil and chaos, and Sam Neill's character accompanies this group that's going out to try to retrieve the Event Horizon, but he doesn't tell them any of this stuff until they get there, and it all been top secret. And so while he's there, the ship has been to this evil dimension. So we've got trans-dimensional travel, which seems like, that's the way that people are talking these days. That's the way you hear the the really based people talking about aliens, or non-terrestrial beings, saying that if there are non-terrestrial beings, they're not from other planets, they're not from out there in space somewhere, they're actually from other dimensions, and they're probably, the line goes, they're probably creatures from hell. Now, I don't know I don't have an opinion about any of this stuff. I believe in demons. I believe in the realm of the demonic. I'm not I'm not willing to just throw away the idea that there could be other beings in our own universe. And I'm not a flat earther, and I'm not a a helio, or what's the opposite of a heliocentrist. I mean, I don't know. I don't know whether the Earth is round or flat, but I'm stipulating that it's round, and I'm stipulating that space is real and that the solar system is what they told us it was um, when I was growing up. I might be wrong. Okay, I don't hold to these things dogmatically, but it just I've just got to see more to tell me that these discs I see in the sky aren't really spherical objects, and that the Earth is not truly spherical. You've got to show me more than what you've shown me so far. That's all. But if you believe in flat Earth, that's cool. I'm not. Uh, I ain't mad at you. So anyway, in Event Horizon, space does exist. This is before any of this flat Earth stuff really became, a part of what you were supposed to believe if you were truly based, which basically started up in around 2015, which is another reason why I have some doubt. Like, well, if this was something that was really, if this was something that really had truth to it, why did it just crop up suddenly 11 years ago on the internet? Why hadn't we heard about it, our whole lives? As I've said before, I grew up in an extremely conservative culture. I grew up in the American South. I knew a lot of people who had who were creationists, who believed in the young Earth philosophy, that who disbelieved in evolution, and all of that, but they still believed in the solar system. They still thought the Earth was the third planet orbiting around the sun, and none of that was violative of faith to them, the way that a lot of flat earthers seem to think that belief in space and other planets is violative of faith now. Anyhow, in the movie Event Horizon, they come across this ship, and only then do they find out that the ship has become evil, because there's some spoilers here, I guess. Because the ship has been in this evil dimension, and we see flashes of what happened to the crew when they turned on this CERN like thing, when they generated this black hole and went into this other dimension. Instead of traveling to Alpha Centauri, they went into this other dimension, and it became this place of hellish suffering, and there all kinds of torture and torment and all kinds of gruesomeness. This crew of reasonable scientists, suddenly became these demon possessed creatures who were doing insanely awful things to themselves and to one another. And it's my understanding that this movie has like a whole half hour more footage where the director it used pornographic actors and that it was just really raunchy and really disgusting and repellent. And all of this footage, what I'm told is, what I've read is that they tried this this longer version of the film, which was, had about, which had a much longer sequences showing what happened to the original crew, and then also showing what happened to some of the rescue crew who were starting to meet this similar fate on this haunted, or this evil ship, where the Sam Neill, the creator, his character becomes or succumbs to the evil while he's there, and that suppose the audiences were so disgusted and so appalled by that extra footage, and it took the movie into NC-17 territory, which is box office poison. So they were forced to cut back significantly on it. And so what remains is just, just little flashes here and there of really gruesome looking stuff happening. Self-mutilation, mutilation of others, just lots of blood and gore and seemingly really evil rituals and mayhem taking place between these characters. So anyway, the movie ends on an ambiguous note. I guess I don't feel the need to give everything away, but also I don't necessarily understand everything that happened. It doesn't quite go into 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's not quite that incomprehensible. But there's stuff where you're not quite sure what's real and what isn't, and when somebody is just having a nightmare, and when they might be seeing something that's actually there. Apparently, some members of the crew perish, but a few survive and are rescued later. But the traces of evil still linger. What I think is the most interesting thing about the movie is its depiction of the Event Horizon project, and what came of it, and how it became this like Tower of Babel kind of thing, where man was trying to become as God, and in doing so became demonic, because that's the lure of the demonic. So really a rather orthodox, not capital O Orthodox, but traditional Christian view of man, and of technology, and of the dangers of pride that are inherent in a lot of technology, and especially among those mad scientist types who just think they can go beyond. This is sort of like this was the same premise of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. That these particular scientists who don't see any problem in transgressing what was never meant to be transgressed, trying to usurp the realm of God, when you're not God, and the terrible consequences that come of that. So, interesting movie. Recommended if you have a strong stomach. Recommended if you're into sci-fi and horror, and but yeah, definitely some heady stuff there. So, who else has seen Event Horizon? What are your thoughts? I get the feeling a lot of you out there have already beaten me to it, and I am almost 30 years late to the party. So those are my thoughts.